Okay, here we are back for part two of another episode of CaseyBuilds Live. This one we're doing the grand piano. Yesterday, just a quick reminder here, we did a lot of the body of the piano here. We have a very cool action board, some nice detail. We have all of these sustain plungers. I'm not sure if that's the right name for them or not. And we have some stuff in here that will be powering the gearing of this thing, so we can sync it up with a phone, and it'll actually move keys and whatnot. Also, we do have a working sustain pedal. As you can see, it actually lifts all of the dampers. That's what they're called. Anyway, that's been really cool. I also, victory for me, remember to start up my time lapse this time. And right now we're in the middle of working on the front where the basically the keyboard tray is going to be. So that is your 30-second recap. Let's start building bag 8. Over to that one there. Go. Ooh, thank you very much. Beautiful laid out pieces. So Lex laughed when she was laying this out yesterday, saying that I was going to hate it, and it's because of all of these little grabber bits that we're going to need to put all of these things in place. Holy cow! Yesterday, I was talking about how there was one of these things that was a 16 long axle. This one is a 32, and that is by far, absolutely without question, the largest one of these I've ever seen. That's awesome. But today, or part of what we're doing today, I think we're going to be laying a bunch of the strings or the wires or the cords or whatever. We're going to be laying a bunch of those across the top of the piano here. So well, we'll get to these when we get to them. It's all right. Okay, let's see. I wonder if that was a special. Like I said, I've never seen one that was that long before, and I'm wondering if maybe that might have needed to be a special piece created for this set. I'm gonna have to look that up when I'm done here today, because that is massive. Don't know what we're building, but I'm able to use the flat of this to make it easier for me to get these things together, which is nice. Also, if anybody out there would be able to tell me, probably anybody but Lex, if I sound okay today. I had gotten a recommendation yesterday that there was I had some audio issues from assembling pieces on the table that was reverberating up through the mic and making some thumping sounds, and so I've moved some things around a little bit, and the mic should be in a new place now that hopefully doesn't have that problem. So I tweaked it and tried to adjust the levels so that I'd be around the same audio level as I was before. So let me know if you have problems hearing me, or if it sounds different. If I hear nothing, I'm going to assume everything's fine, but please let me know. Alright, what are we doing here? This guy goes back here. This might be for the soft close lid. Don't know yet. So this has the rubbery bits that I've talked about before. This one right here, it gives it some bouncy give going this way and this way. So, not sure what we're going to be accomplishing with that yet, but it's a fun interactive element. No thumping yet? That's good. How's the volume? Am I loud enough? Also, this is not sure. This isn't perfectly clear on how this is supposed to line up, but I think it's supposed to be flush on this side and then extra going off to the right. So again, this set is big old chunker. This thing's huge. Sounds good here. Hi, both of you. Tiff says, oh. Well, hello, everybody out there. Tiffany and Nancy, Mom, Chris, all of you. Hello. I know around here, we are well into the hundreds today. And I know that we usually have much nicer weather down here than you guys do up in your area, so hopefully you're not burning to death today. So good news about the time lapse. I haven't messed with it too much because I wanted to keep it in a stationary position between the three parts here so that it doesn't jump around in the middle. But just delicately inspecting what I took yesterday. It's looking like it's going to work, I hope. So that would be a major win for being able to keep posting time lapses again. Ooh, also something else exciting. I don't know if he's out there watching right now, but I was talking with Mecha Dragon prior to the stream this morning, and he was showing me some streaming tools and stuff. But one of the things that was mentioned on one of the pages with these tools was making merchandising a little bit simpler, and it reminded me how much fun it would be to have some CaseyBuilds merch. So I feel like I should design some shirts or something. And just for anybody who's really clever and says, "Hey, Casey, you should make a minifig of yourself," I've looked at those before, and it's really hard to make a minifig. Getting anything that I've tried with that before, I've not been happy with my results. So probably won't have those. But I think it'd be fun to have shirts or something. It actually wasn't the point of what Mecha Dragon was showing me. However, that's what jumped out at me the most. Why do we not want to call it merch? That's sort of what it's called. just we don't like the word moist kind of a thing. Ooh. Alright. This, I'm guessing, is going to be perhaps the top up here. Where the music stand would go. Just guessing, not sure yet. Though I suppose if we're talking about how hot it is, none of us have any right to talk with when we've got Cordy in the chat here. I have a feeling he has it the worst out of all of us. Okay. Oh. Well, okay, this is going to be a long, boring step. We need to place 49 of these little buggers. So, here we go. Oh. I'm surprised. I just sort of assumed that Texas always won for, well, what I consider gross weather. I know, Cordy, I know you you like the heat for reasons I don't understand. What a journey we're going on with this one step. Holy cow. Oh, okay. Well, then I take it back. It's gross. Oh, no. Ooh, I saved it. Almost lost that guy. It's funny, I feel like the very first time I streamed in here, the very first one, it was a much more simple setup, and I feel like things have just constantly sort of added themselves on with the time lapser and microphones, and just things are, whoa, constantly growing. All right, what are we doing here now? Okay, 12 of... Sorry, point being was I was afraid that if I lost that piece, it'd be more difficult to find than it would have been a long time ago for a different string. Alright, we need all 12 of these long ones. Presumably, however many of these we have. Okay, 12 of the longest ones, 3 of the slightly not as long ones, and then 5 and 5 of the rest of these. Give us 6 of each, so 2 up there. Okay, that should cover it. Let's see if I can get them in place. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How does that work? Shorter, shorter, shorter. And all the rest. Kind of looks like spaghetti. Kind of gross spaghetti, I guess. Two and 3. All right. Whew. That's a lot of fun. We got a lot of strings there. Let's see how it all attaches. Okay, this is going to go across here. This fits into place like so. And then these all attach. Okay. That's not tough. Sort of wonder why this one's extra long and high up there. With the detail of this set, I'm sure there is a reason for it. I just don't know what it is. Uh-oh. This one doesn't reach far enough. Oh, it's because it needs to be up further. There we go. Now it reaches. That's pretty cool looking. Check that out. Well, we got a piano here. All right. By the way, one thing I've noticed, at least so far, and I don't know where they're hiding, if there are any, but looks like there's no stickers on this set, which for the high quality set that this is intended to be, I'm really happy about that. Okay, this one says 2x at the start, and it 2x's the ingredients for us automatically. I've complained about that enough. We're not going to talk about it right now. You guys know how much it bugs me. And I know I talked about this for old sets, like when I was doing the helmets and the Porg, but this one, there's a level of sculpting going on here with the piano that is truly impressive. The curves, everything's flat and smooth and flush. With those helmets and things, they achieved kind of the dome of the head and things like that, but it was still jagged. If you looked at it as a big picture, it had a roundness to it, but if you looked at it real close, you could see brick. This, so far, the outside of this thing, it is all completely smooth, and it's got the actual lines of a piano and the curves that you would expect, if that continues throughout the set, this is probably going to be one of the I've been thinking this is one of the coolest technically advanced sets, well, not being a Technic set, but this is also probably going to be quite possibly the prettiest set I think they've ever had. Motherboard asked me earlier today if I was able to get any sleep last night, or if I was too excited about building this set today. And I was indeed able to get some sleep, so that was nice. But this one really is something else. Okay, that's the rest of the front of the piano. Another problem is this thing it's such a large set that I'm having a hard time figuring out where to hold it. A lot of the times when you're putting these chunks together, oh, that's the end of bag 8. We are on to bag 9. Oh, hello, Bo James. I think the first song I'm going to play on it is going to be the song that's built into the app. Because supposedly there is one. The guy that built the set, Donnie Chen, he also composes stuff. And so he had actually composed an original song. If you go to the ideas page, thank you. If you go to the ideas page that this set was on, it's the song that's playing on the YouTube video that he uploaded as a demo of the set, and supposedly that is the song that's included. Okay, what's it? Oh, all right. I'm thinking this next area is going to be the curve over here. We'll find out. Let's get there. I feel like I interrupted myself in the middle of saying something and I don't remember what it was. So.
Talking about him composing?
No, I was done talking about the builder or the designer. Don't know. It's gone. Okay. These guys, some of those, and one of these. Man, I feel like this monster is so huge. Keep telling myself that one of these days, if I start to consider myself more of a serious streamer, I'm gonna update some things for my setup here. I don't know if I'm necessarily there yet, but got ideas. Alright, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's all of those. Man, baguette with butter, that just makes me want to go watch a movie in the theater. I miss popcorn. Specifically, movie theater popcorn. I know you can make popcorn at home and you can put butter on it, and I miss the whatever perfect artificial butter they use at the theater. Like, I very specifically want movie theater made popcorn with just a disgusting amount of pump it yourself butter. It's one of the things that I think I probably miss most right now in these COVID times. Okay. Well, it's got a real nice curve to it once again. Yep, I was right. Okay, we're throwing it over here. This guy needs to go oriented this way. And it attaches here. Oh, that's what I was saying. This set is so large. Normally when you're building sets, especially larger ones, it's important to have a proper amount of leverage when you're joining sections. When you make a section separate and then go to add it on to the complete thing, being able to hold the opposite side to make sure that you have it fully properly put together. Oh, see, look, I just put this piece right here, and again, that's the curve of this. It's a perfect finishing touch. It's great. But yeah, you always want to be able to have proper force on either side, so that when you're pushing the pieces together, you don't push something else apart when you're putting another piece on, or you want it to be fully locked into place. And the larger the set, the more important it is, because there's more connections to be made and more things that can go wrong, and the bigger it is, the more you need to respect physics. And this set is so large, I'm frequently having a hard time knowing what areas are good enough to be load bearing and where I can put opposite counter force on the thing to get things to lock into place. Oop. Okay. All right. Again, just a very, very nice shape to this thing. It feels like a piano. It's so nice. Okay, we can push that up a ways. Some more finishing work here on the side. Imagine we're about to do that up the side of this thing too. Yep. Finish it off. All flush. All perfectly smooth. There was a lot of care taken when designing this set here. Again, not sure where it's safe to hold and push. There we go. Alright. Whatever this guy is, that comes out, and we get a little stopper unit there. This is probably going to be a mechanism. Right back behind here, this is where the button is to start the Bluetooth pairing with the phone. And most sets that have one of these, instead of having you just push the button directly, you can see on here, there's a little green button right there. And for whatever reason, I mean, you could obviously just push the green button. But for whatever reason in Lego designs, I don't know if they think that it's beneath a person to physically push that button, but they like to build other things like a little poker bit that will let you push like some other Lego on the outside that will engage that, so you're not actually interacting with the block itself for whatever reason. Maybe they see that as an internal component, and they like to use an external button as a means to be creative and insulate you from the fact that there really are, things inside. They always work really well, so they do a good job with it. Not that I would ever expect that they wouldn't. Okay. Oh, and I just remembered I forgot to go subscribe to that. Go check out Ben. That guy that was the talkative fella that we had here yesterday. I forgot to go and check out his stream. Still need to do that. I'll remember to do that after I'm done today. Okay. And more just real nice finishing here. We're using the cheese wedge pieces. Presumably this is going to fit on this side, and we'll have, I'm guessing, just the perfect angle to it so that everything's nice and flush. We'll find out soon. Oscar Wilde says music is the art which is most nigh to tears and memories. How profound. Okay, that goes down, and this goes into here. I can get it to go into there. There, got it to go into there. And that piece will lock those together. I can get them. That's kind of tricky. Alright, got it. Now this door, supposedly, yep. Flush. Alright. And if you can see on that side, you can see this opens up and then gives you the perfect flat flush. This is probably the least perfect exterior component on the piano. There's a little gap right here, and I think I think it's acceptable. Ooh. Getting to be a big boy here. Alright, we have these going across. There have been multiple sections that have come together to make this guy, and so putting these across here like this are really locking them all together. I mean, they're already one big unit, but this is making it so that they will absolutely stay together. This is one of the ways that Lego gives things a lot of structural rigidity. You'll build everything in a single direction, but then you'll also have like a 90-degree stud pivot, and then along that other side, like we just did here, you can place a row of just a flat row of or flat tiles like this, and it just completely locks everything into place. All right. And now we'll put these across the bottom, and that will give us the finish that we need. There. One beautiful, smooth wall of the piano. Okay, and once again it's showing us how to open up the door. It turns out they do want us to just hit that little green button with our fingers. How exciting. So you hit that green button, open up the app, sync it, hit the button, and then it will play music. So that's pretty cool. This will turn. We don't have any keys yet, so I don't think anything will happen. Again, all that, I'm already using my phone to do the videoing, so that's something that I'll just have to show off individually when people visit me in the distant future. Alright, that's the end of bag 9. We are now on bag 10. Which is thoughtfully on its way over. Oh, and extremely carefully. There must be a lot of perfectly placed pieces on this tray. Holy cow. Yeah. Whew. I'm afraid to even touch the table at this point. Those things are going to fall over and then I'm going to be in trouble. Okay, it looks like we're working on the bottom side of the piano now. I'm going to give this thing some legs. Man. This is surprisingly difficult. There we go. Okay. Also, I would not have thought to just straight up turn this thing over like this, but since the instructions said to do so, it must be okay. But thinking about it, I suppose there's really nothing in there aside from the dampeners that really even moves. Everything's attached and in place, so that's not going to be a problem. But this would have freaked me out had it not told me to turn it over. All right. Let's make some. This looks like it's going to be the maybe the foot pedal, the pillar that hangs down with the pedals on it, possibly. So, more interesting piano facts. When I had gotten my my new grand piano a few months ago, I had never really known what the purpose of the center pedal was, because I feel like most of the time it either didn't work, or if you pushed it, it didn't really do anything. But getting the new piano, I decided I should know what it does. So when I got it, I looked into it and found out that it holds. So the right, the pedal on the right makes it so that when you play notes, they continue. They don't stop when you lift up on the key like they normally do. And it does that by lifting the dampener so the strings are free to continue vibrating. The pedal on the left is a quiet pedal. It makes it makes the sound softer. It shifts the whole keyboard over. I don't know if it's that you're hitting fewer strings, or no, it moves the hammers closer to the strings so that there's not as much force when they strike. I think that's what it does. And the third pedal, the one in the middle, makes it so that if you're holding some notes on, if you're holding down some keys and that are sounding, and you push the middle pedal and you let go, it will continue to hold those keys, but leave you free to play other keys and not hold the other keys. So if you're playing something and you need to say have a big bass note hit, boom, that continues to hold, but then need to go play things elsewhere while those other notes keep going, that's what that's for. However, and this was something I just learned, that middle pedal, Bethany, yes. What I learned was that middle pedal has differing functions based on the manufacturer of the piano. And a lot of upright pianos, the pedal is called the practice mode pedal, and when you push it, it actually puts a layer of felt between the hammers and the strings to make it softer, and you can push it down and push it over into place, kind of like putting your shifter into reverse. If you drive a manual, a lot of them, they kind of go over and click into place. Some of them do that. Some of them are simply sustain pedals, but only for the bass notes. So everything below middle C gets sustained, so you can hold something down there while still playing stuff up top and have it not getting muddy. So turns out there's actually multiple things that middle pedal can do based on manufacturer. Happens to be on my piano, the thing that just blew Bethany's mind. It's probably the way that I would want it to work the most. And so my example for it, if I was going to show a good example, is like when I go to play the Star Trek Next Generation theme song, it starts out with a bum, and that note's supposed to hold, and then the top goes bum, 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 bum. And if you're holding down the normal sustain pedal, you're getting all of the top muddy because it keeps holding those as well. But if I use my middle pedal, I can hit the bass note, it continues to hold through, and then I can play all the melody up top with just that one bass drone going the whole time. So there you go, Bethany. If you check it out on your piano, see if it does it, see which way it works, and perhaps keep that in mind when you buy your next piano. But yes, I agree. Absolutely game changing. Okay, that connects. So this piano, it's right behind the instructions, is going to have a functioning sustain pedal that will move the dampeners so that when you're holding this down, the notes will continue to work. All right, This one says 3x, but doesn't um, triplicate the ingredients. What word am I looking for?
Triple.
Well, there's triple and double, but duplicate and it doesn't duplicate the instructions. If it were 2, if it was 3, it's triplicate. I don't. Is that a word?
Well, there's triplicate, like if there's 3 papers.
Yeah, not triplicate. It's got
Yeah.
it's triplicating. It's a verb.
I don't think that's a thing here.
I feel like that verb needs to exist.
I don't think it does, though.
Okay, this is typically where Alex is going to chime in with some baloney answer.
I bet you did not watch it today.
If you were watching, don't know if you're out there today or not. Inertial dampeners. Yeah, see, now I think if we were building, when Lego finally gets their act together and gives us a proper enterprise set, we're definitely going to have some inertial dampeners at that point. Also, okay, so right now we're building the wheels, which are more show than, well, they spin. This is one thing that I remember was definitely different in the original design. The set on Ideas had these wheels, and they do have the shape of grand piano wheels. But the one on the Ideas set actually had gold, little gold balls, which I think look a little bit more iconically grand piano-y, but oh, thank you, Bethany. Triplicate the verb does exist. Outstanding. Oh, today's a good day. Alright, do we triplicate all this? We do. Haha, triplicate. Oh. Nobody thought this was going to be an educational show today. Useless casters, exactly. Yeah. My piano kind of came with casters, but when they brought it in, they actually put little plates that held the casters to make them feet, because it's not like you're supposed to be rolling the thing around anyway. So unless you, I guess, are in a concert hall and need to roll a piano in and off the stage and on the stage a lot. Actually, the grand piano we had at my high school that we used for all of our choir stuff, we rolled that thing all over the campus, and I don't want to think about how horribly out of tune it must have been because of us banging it up and down the hallways. But it had to be done. Triplicate. It's really exciting. Love learning new words. And yet again, I know I had mentioned this yesterday, but one of the things that's really great about this set is there's so many unique, interesting pieces to the piano that are all important. There's no fluff. Like right now we're building the legs, which are totally unlike any of the other parts we've built, but are still a crucial part of the build. And it's neat that there's so many interesting and important parts of the piano to make it so that this build can, in fact, be interesting the whole way through. It's like if you were building some of these sets, there's a whole lot of duplication because there's repetition throughout. And the closest thing we got on this one was those dampeners. But like when you're building one of the Star Wars ships, sometimes you're building along the hull of a Star Destroyer, and it's like, okay, we'll build 24 of this thing that looks like a turret, and then place them spread out across the top of the thing. It's all interesting. It's like if you were building a human body. Every part of the human body is different and interesting, and it's not. There's no boring bits, except for maybe the. I was just gonna make a joke and I blew it. No. What's one of the internal organs that we don't really know the purpose of that you can just get rid of?
Gallbladder?
Well, gallbladder that's important.
Appendix?
The gallbladder is a very important organ. Appendix, sure. You can just take the appendix out. Nobody cares. So, like... Anyway. Did I miss something? I did miss something. Yeah, I need to focus less on my comedy routine and more on my building here. Thank you, Chris. Yes, appendix. I might say the gallbladder is one of the very most important organs in the body. This leg goes here. This leg goes here. Oh, those fit together so nice. Oh, that's great. Okay, I'm just going to leave it upside down right now. It didn't tell us to turn it back over. I don't think there's going to be anything else we're doing on the bottom aside from attaching a few pedals, but looks like we're building the keyboard right now. So because it's a board of keys. It's the keyboard, but it's actually a board, so it's the key board. And we're on bag 11. Thank you very much. Oh, there's some green in there. I wonder what the green's for. Okay. It's funny, Bethany. I can actually, when you said what, after hearing the description of my middle pedal, I could actually hear your voice saying that. You have a very Bethany specific way of saying what. What?
It does. It's true.
Lex is agreeing with me right now. This is amazing. I can hear it. That's cute. Ah! Almost lost it. Okay. We're definitely building some more. Okay, so we're building the keys here. I think this might be the section of the piano that I've been the most excited to get to, because I wanted to see if the hammers were actually going to work like a real piano. So we're getting close to the the part that I've been looking most forward to. I was not expecting to have this functioning sustainer in here. That's it's really cool. Alright. I don't know what that does, what part of the piano that is, but we'll find out real soon. Okay. So I was able to move the microphone off of the table here to make it fix the sound of the pieces reverberating through the table into the microphone. One of the things that I would like to do, assuming that I do this as I start to consider myself a more serious streamer, not that I think I would ever consider myself one. That's really cool. So we're able to make these pegs here by going back and forth with pieces. I don't think I've ever seen them arranged like this before. This is a really, really standard piece. Cordy, I know you said that when I do this it usually skips out on the stream, but I gotta show. So that's a pretty normal piece, but I've never seen them used inner back and forth, like the interlocking like teeth. That's kind of neat. Anyway, one of the things that I would love to do if I ever start taking this super seriously would be to get the monitor off of the table itself and maybe get an arm and attach it so that whenever I'm doing stuff on the table here, it's not shaking the monitor. Because right now, having the...
Couldn't you just put a signature behind the table and it's going to be the right height?
Maybe. Could work. I feel like that's one of the biggest problems, because when I push on it, I know it kind of makes my face video, or the video of the front facing one here, wobble a bit. And it would give me a little bit more freedom with positioning of things. If I could move this back a little bit further and have a little bit more table space to use, and I could probably move this camera around a little bit. All right. Lots of ideas that'll probably never happen.
Not with an attitude like that. Okay.
Getting sass from off camera. Bo James, I don't know if you're playing your normal drinking game right now, but I feel like that's a double. What? Okay, it doesn't say 2x. Always constantly on the lookout for him sneaking those 2x things on us. It's weird. I almost have like Lego PTSD. I'm constantly waiting to get to a stage when I see like flat pieces like this. I'm thinking, okay, well, there's going to be a sticker that I'm going to have to put onto this stupid thing. No stickers. Also, I have no idea what the... Oh, this is going to be a hammer, maybe? Can't tell. Maybe. I mean, it would have to be. We'll see. Oh. Oh, that looks like it's going to be a white key right there. Leaving room for a black key in the middle. I think that's exactly what this is. Oh, how cool. Okay. Very, very cool. Now, where's that supposed to go? Oh, right there. Holy cow. Okay. Alright, that one's got a 2x. Alright. I didn't realize it. I was, so the last time that the tuner guy had to come out to fix some things on my new piano, he actually needed to remove the keyboard tray, which I didn't know you could do, but I didn't realize it was such a easy. Well, easy isn't even the right word. There's some knobs, and the entire keyboard tray actually pulls out from the bed of the piano. The whole thing pulls forward, and it kind of blew my mind. I didn't realize it could do that. It makes sense that it does, but I hadn't really ever thought about it before. But it was really cool.
This tray's gonna suck. There's lots of different things and just a lot of them.
You saying that tray's gonna suck for me, or is it gonna suck for you?
It's sucking for me.
Oh, okay. I mean, obviously that still matters to me, but the next tray is gonna be it's a rough one.
I'm only 3 ahead of you, and I'm on the one that you're doing next.
So Lex is pointing out that normally she's 3 trays ahead. And right now she's still working on the next tray after this one. So that seems pretty gross. Oh, these keys are so cool. Fun trivia factoid for anybody out there watching right now. Anybody tell me where the name piano came from without Googling it? There are a few answers to this question. Sort of. Where and why? Come on, Bethany, I know you got this. Oh. Oh, ooh. I broke my key. Pianoforte. Piano freeze. Okay. I like all the answers, but Bethany's are the best. As Bethany's are the most accurate. Yeah. So pianoforte. It actually had a whole bunch of different names. It was called the pianoforte. Some people call it the forte piano. It kind of went both ways with the naming there, and it was called that. And it also has a really long name that I can't remember. It's some Italian. It's like an Italian sentence. Pianoforte di blah 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 blah. And but it's also basically just pianoforte again. And yes, the pianoforte or forte piano, either way, whichever is the most commonly, I don't know. It was a big deal because there was the clavichord and the harpsichord, which worked by the harpsichord used quills to pluck the strings, and a clavichord used can't remember. But because of the way those worked, there were no dynamics. You couldn't have soft and loud. It was bing, bing, bing. It didn't matter how hard you put it. When the pianoforte came out, it was cool because of the way this thing works. It's the hammers are generally they have a little bit of leather on them, and they are hitting against the strings. And however hard you hit the key, gives you the dynamics on your piano, so you can play stuff loud or soft or whatever. Piano means soft, forte means loud, and so it just got shortened to piano. So Bethany wins. This is so cool. We're building a keyboard. Oh, thank you, Bethany. Yeah, gravicimbalo con piano e forte. Oof.
Did you try it?
Gravicimbalo, I think, means gravity symbol, which has to do. Oh, you put in parentheses, key symbol. Yeah, there you go. Another fun fact, a whole lot of musical terms, piano, forte, crescendo, all of those, are all Italian. Lex asks why, and I don't have an answer for that. I think it's because Italy was at the forefront of a lot of modern, well, not modern, classical music stuff.
I find this history lesson wacky.
I should have known that if I was going to be doing a history lesson, I needed to have a more robust syllabus planned. Did you call me Cheaty?
Yes.
Any of you out there haven't watched The Good Place yet, you should fix that immediately.
Where's your syllabus?
Alright, we have the right keys in place, now we're doing our black keys. Oops. go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I am so excited to be able to hold this up to show you guys. It needs to be locked into place here because right now it would fall apart if I held it up. The keys are only in place with gravity at the moment.
Well, isn't that appropriate?
Okay. Incidentally, that is one of the biggest differences with a grand piano versus an upright or console piano. The action that you get in the keys in a grand piano is based on gravity, which means you can have a little bit better responsiveness, action on the keys on a grand piano than you can on an upright. And these need to fit into here. Holy cow! This is the coolest thing ever. Okay, this will need to get locked into place somehow. How is the question? Oops. Okay, yeah, Bethany, you're going to be happy about this here. Let me see if I can... Does this lock it into place? Kind of. Not really good enough. There's going to be looks like there's going to be a rod that goes through here. But you can sort of see... well... something's missing right now. But... You can see that you can actually push these keys and they move the hammers back here, and there are indeed hammers behind them. This is really cool. Okay, that's the end of bag 11. On to Lex's favorite, bag 12. Oh, she is moving very delicately right now. Hang on. Let me move this out of the way. Yeah. I'll fix it for you. There you go. Fixed.
Now do you see the technique?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff standing on... Oops, I didn't even need that one. Standing on end here. Okay. This tray is going to get ugly real quick. I'm going to have one good bump and it's going to just go to... Oh, look at them all wiggling. Oh, here we go, another quote. Thomas Carlyle said, "Music is well said to be the speech of angels." Lovely. I don't know who Thomas Carlyle is. Anybody out there know? Lex is guessing philosopher. Perhaps guess isn't the correct word, but... Oh, okay, it's a guess. Yeah, Thomas Carlyle. Yeah.
British historian, satirical writer, essayist, translator, philosopher, mathematician, and teacher. So basically,
Basically
cheating anyone.
what?
I said basically cheating anyone who does English.
He's a
everything.
British
Historian,
philosopher, historian, teacher, essayist, satirist, blah 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 blah. Does all sorts of things. So one thing I had mentioned before, we're using these pins as the teeth. These are actually the pivot tilt point for all of the keys. I'm kind of happy that this set was after the NES, because when I was building the NES, I felt like that was the best set that Nintendo has ever created, and this is really shaping up to give it a run for its money. Got another key here. And it even has just the most minute lip to the key, which if you've seen a piano keyboard, there's always just a little lip on the ivory there. And this has that just perfect amount of over extension. Like, just every single detail, it's just perfect. Aside from this wall. Aside from that wall right there. It's the only thing that's not just meticulously crafted. The wall gets an A-. Okay, there's the key. That would be a B. Not grade-wise, key-wise, that's a B. No. E, that's an E. Is it 2 or no? What? Okay, 2 of those. These 2 fellas. 1, 1, 1. You did a beautiful job on this tray.
Thanks. You're really hungry.
I appreciate the efforts you've. I appreciate the efforts that you have gone to on this.
Roller coaster again.
That's what I appreciate about you. And we haven't even watched Letterkenny in months. Okay. D. There. And now we will build our C. The ever important C. There. Just every single one of these things is fitting together so perfectly. It's almost like they're all so perfect that it's almost like Lego pieces were designed with this set in mind specifically, because it's just all working so perfectly. C. All right, let's make our black keys.
Started on 14, right?
Okay, this one says 2, so we're building 2 of them. Obviously, we need our C sharp and our D sharp. I think I need to remind myself to breathe right now. Just so completely enamored with this set. Also, we go in about an hour and a half at this point. I suppose this is probably a good time as any to remind about the schedule for the weekend. I have tomorrow off. I assume most everybody else does too. So we're going to be finishing this set up tomorrow at the same time that we normally would on the weekends. So we can go in an hour and a half today. We'll probably go another half an hour or so. That's probably about right. And then we'll finish up with whatever we have left tomorrow. Okay. We now now have almost a complete octave. All right. Those will go right next to each other. Snap. I'll have a full octave there, but okay. So now we're building some more actuators of sorts. I'm not sure what to call it. Whatever this is that we're building. Very thoughtfully telling you which way. So these pieces are actually, you can see here, they are directional in that the top half there is only covering half of the thing. So the instructions are actually going to great detail to make sure that you put them on the correct way. I don't think I've ever seen them called out so importantly before. And any set I've ever built that had these before, it's certainly an important thing to get those going the right way, but they're putting extra emphasis on it now. Which is fine, I suppose. Ooh, yeah, I messed all those up. Oh well. Made it pretty far.
This one's going to be bad. Portion's going to be bad too.
Okay. This guy goes up here. And alright, these go together. And now we build across the top of this other one, presumably. So again, taking great care to make sure the plungers are oriented correctly. One, two, three. And that guy. And that guy. Okay. Same situation. These little guys. Yes. Correct plunger orientation is always crucial. Okay, this guy goes up top here. And those all match up perfectly over top of the keys, which isn't necessarily a surprising thing. Okay, now we build 12 of these, and I think that's, yeah, so that's the rest of this tray. So I don't need to work on keeping it pretty anymore. Those are extra pieces, and then I'll use the rest. Okay. Alright, so what are we doing here? Mass production. Yeah. Pianissimo. Nice. Two at a time here. Boop. Oh. Three. One, two, three. Okay, what else? Now we put all those little guys on. Across the tops. They look like little shoes right now. Like
The tan ones?
no, this kind of looks like Sonic the Hedgehog's boot. Little leg and a sock. Or his sneakers, rather. Okay. Almost done with the repetitive part here. So, I think, if I'm guessing correctly, with the number of keys we have across here, we're going to have to build another batch of keys like this. One or two, actually. So there might be some rather repetitive stuff coming up here. Which, well, I apologize for.
Why did you sense it?
Might be a good time to go have a restroom break if you need one, or grab a Snickers. Refresh your beverages. Sheesh. So many. Da-da-da. Oh, come on. 4 to go. So close. For this part. and then we're probably going to have to do it again. Okay, now let's see where these all attach. Oh, yes. Okay. So these are all of the hammers that hit the strings. I'm absolutely going to hold this up to show you guys as soon as I get these on here. Okay, so you can see when I hit the C here, that little hammer comes up and hits the string. And so each one of these individually, that's how, that is how a piano works, right there. That is the mechanism of a piano. Remarkable. Okay, that's the end of 12. 13... Looks like 13, we're building another set of those. Yeah, we'll do 13. Yeah, that right there. I mean, that alone would make this set worth it. This is so cool. Thank you. Alright, well this looks, I was going to say exactly the same as the C through E that we already built over here, so I'm not sure why they didn't just say build 2 of them. Guessing there might be some difference in the side areas of these guys for how they connect to each other. Is the next tray more keyboard?
It looks the same, yeah.
Same. What? Yeah, not that I would ever encourage anybody not to watch the stream, but I think the rest of today is just going to be building more of these keys. So I don't think we're going to be building anything else other than more keyboard here, which is, as you've, I'm sure, noticed, very repetitive, if for no other reason than because I've been complaining about that. So I think we'll save anything interesting and new for where we pick up for tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have all the keyboard done so that when we start tomorrow it'll be fun and not just more repetition. But that's probably what we have to look forward to for the rest of the day here. And while it is a little on the repetitive and boring side, this mechanism to actually build a working keyboard out of Lego bricks, I don't think I would have ever dreamt this is something that could have been even remotely possible. This is so cool. Donnie Chen is a brilliant man. If I ever go to Australia, I'm going to have to hunt him down. Having done one of these, multiple of these already, we can pretty much fly right through this stuff. We know what we're doing. Okay, that's another C right there. On to, yep, it's going to be D. One thing that is interesting with this, while it's repetitive and boring, it is interesting to see the difference in how, looking at this, it looks, while there's different shapes to the different keys, which is appropriate, it's interesting internally how differently he had to create these things to keep them with such a consistent look. Because there's because of the way that the black keys fit in between the white keys, there are slightly different shapes to the tops of the keys, and those different shapes actually completely change the way that these keys go together. And from the outside, you would never even think about it because they are so perfectly consistently made. But like this, for example, this is for a D in the middle, which has a black key on either side of it, which uses these clips to center this thing, whereas the C key doesn't use the clips. It's a full bar all the way through and has an offset to it. And anyway, it's just one of the many interesting details, nuances to this set that you could easily overlook and not really pay any attention to whatsoever, but is definitely interesting if you put a little thought into it and notice it. It's also interesting how the keys themselves are sort of what hold the other keys into place. All of them together, individually they would kind of wobble about, but having multiple keys all together, they actually sort of lock themselves into place, which is neat. You can see as I'm building this one that it doesn't have the clip on the front. It has a bender, and then it has this bit in the middle to fill in the white space And it's just the exact perfect amount of extra lip on the thing to make that work perfectly. Okay, there's our E key. Now for 2 more black keys. You know, an alternate way they could have gone about this, they could have, instead of building the keyboard, chunk of keyboard at a time, they could have had it be slightly more repetitive up front and have us, say, build all of the C keys we need, all of the D keys we need, and take them that way, and then build the keyboard after having built all of these individual keys. I think the one probably downside to that would have been keeping them straight, and unless you were familiar with a piano, being able to keep track of which one is which might have posed a problem. This way there's really no ambiguity whatsoever about which one goes where. But when it comes to doing these sorts of repetitive things, I personally prefer to just do them all at once in one straight shot, boom, get them done, and then get on to interesting things, as opposed to doing a little bit, coming back, doing a little bit more, coming back. I like to eat my vegetables first and then enjoy my dinner. You do your homework before you watch TV. Unless DuckTales is on. Ooh, almost lost that one. Okay. 2 black keys fit down into place perfectly once again. Why would that be any different than all the rest of them? Wonderful. And use these guys and that guy. With this guy in the middle. Plunger across the top for the hammers. The faithfulness to the mechanical reproduction of the functioning keyboard here is absolutely amazing. We'll do some more of these guys. One. Does bring up the question that I've asked many times before about, is it easier, I wonder if it's easier to design a set when there's something existing that you're copying, or is it more difficult to come up with something completely brand new and unthought and unimagined before? And I tend to think when it comes to at least something as mechanical as this, or like the cars, having a real world thing that you are modeling it after probably makes it a little easier to know what you're aiming for, and to have something that has already been designed outside of the Lego space that you're trying to figure out how to duplicate with Lego. Certainly a different type of a challenge in any case. Okay, that is the end of that one. Get these out of the way here. There. Yeah, and that will finish off our second octave, and will be the end of the keyboard. Yeah, this is looking at the. I cheated and looked at the box. The box has 2 full octaves here, so this will be the end of the tedious keyboard construction. So one more tray. That'll be it for today. And then tomorrow we can start with something that's more interesting. Pardon me. This might end up being a very, very good set to have been my first time lapse, assuming this actually works out. No reason to think that it wouldn't at this point, based on my testing that I did yesterday. Boom, boom. I'm not actually crazy enough to do this, but if I was the sort of person who was, and I had more dedicated Lego displaying space, I could totally see this being a set where I would have the one set up showing the final product, but then it would be so cool to have some of these other subcomponents built next to it so you could see something like this. I suppose this might be built in such a way that we'll be able to pull the keyboard out of the piano. Hadn't thought about that. That would be cool. I could definitely see that being a possibility. But it would be neat to be able to have this out on display and then have some of the other sections that ended up going together to create the full thing out in their various states next to it. I've had that same thought with some of the more interesting Technic car sets as well, because there's so much going on the inside that once you've built it, you can't see it. And that's one of the things that I've always said is great about Lego, is they care about it being interesting to build on the inside as much as they want it to look good on the outside. But the problem with that is sometimes you're building a set where you just literally can't see the inside anymore once you're done with it. For example. a car. And the transmission bits that are on some of the fancier cars are so complicated and awesome, but they are hidden behind all of the paneling once it's done. So another thought that I'd had was how great it would be to be able to show the car in various states. You want to see the final product, but there's so much more cool stuff to see in it while building it that it'd be fun to be able to show it both ways at the same time. Build it as an exploded, yeah. That'd be cool. Anyway, that's not. Let's see that as part of my reality currently. I do have some rather eclectic tendencies that I'm aware of, but every once in a while you get to the point where practicality is something that you just can't get past. We are building 2 of these. Okay. 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, almost caught it. Okay. That guy. And front of that guy. It gives us G and A. If you're following along at home, this one was F. Please. Okay. And bottom bits. Go. G, A. Now to finish off B over here. shape of B down. Do the mechanical back half. Now, keys in place. Now just 3 more black keys, and we're practically done. Huh. Just doing a triplicate like we've done before. Three, 2, 3. Do these enough, you kind of get to the point where you don't even really need to be looking at the instructions anymore. You know where all the pieces are supposed to go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we'll build the front of the black keys. Yep. 3. And then we built the little back bit that sticks down. Okay. Boom. 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 All 3 that fit together. Now for the last bit here of tedium. We have to build the kicker bits. Okay. Also, this is exactly the same as this other one was, so there's no reason why we couldn't have just built them all at the same time. Oh well. Gray, 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 white, that guy, little blue tab, white fella, gray capper on the end, that goes with those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7. There we go. Goes across there. And then all we have to do is build the hammers. Hammers, 7 hammers, and that's the end. As expected. Okay, so that would be those. Hammer. Do go faster again when you don't have to look at the instructions. They're all exactly the same and have been the entire way across. Hammer. 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 Hammer, 2 to go. And the final one. Okay, move these guys on here. All right, that's the end of those. And now we attach that to the end of this guy here. And we have a full 2-octave keyboard. Haha, that's great. I'm hoping there's some jamming here that happens similar to like a typewriter, and I'm hoping that once we get all of this stuff properly in place, there'll be other things stopping us, stopping them, holding them in place the right way. So, anyway. Wow, what a day. Okay, so we have our keyboard, we've got the piano, which is really cool. Looks like we can probably flip it back over. I'm going to leave it like that for now. I'll leave this here. Tomorrow we will start in. It looks like we're going to, first thing we do is we maybe throw this keyboard actually into the piano. Looks like we're going to have one more key to build up at the top for our high C. But this was great. This is so cool. I love the working keyboard here. I can't wait to actually turn it on with the electric mechanism and see it playing itself. This has been great. Tomorrow we'll finish this up. It shouldn't be too long tomorrow. We're at page 400, so we're more than 2/3 of the way through. We've gone through 14 of the 21 bags, but page-wise we're more than 2/3 of the way through. I think when we get here tomorrow, we'll start at 2 o'clock Pacific time as always, and we should fly through this thing and have a complete piano in no time. So thank you all for showing up. As always, it's a lot of fun. Love having you guys here. And enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Bye, everyone.